Hello and welcome to DTN's review of winter 2022-23 for the transportation sector in the UK. I'm Ravi Katecha and I am the UK Transport Team Lead at DTN here in the Netherlands. In this short review, I will show you DTN's early winter seasonal outlook for the European sector, which was issued in October 2022. We will then take a brief look at how the temperature and precipitation compared to the long-term average month by month. Finally, we will take a look at a couple of interesting but also impactful weather events for the transportation sector. DTN issues seasonal outlooks every month, looking ahead to the coming several months. The outlook shown here was issued in the middle of October 2022 and indicated that overall, the winter was expected to be close to the average in terms of temperature across Europe. However, it also indicated that there was a risk of colder than normal conditions developing later in the early part of winter in November and into December. There was then expected to be a trend to milder conditions later in the winter. However, it also noted that there was a risk of some late winter cold developing if the normally strong circulation above the North Pole, known as the polar vortex, was disrupted later in the season. This table shows the temperature and precipitation anomalies for each month through the season compared to the long-term average. As you can see, the autumn of 2022 was rather mild and wet, with November ranking in the top 5 warmest Novembers on record in the UK. The higher than average rainfall also helped to ease the drought conditions across much of the UK. December saw a cold month and we saw a spell of very cold weather, something which was picked up on by the seasonal forecast. January saw both temperature and precipitation amounts around the average, but February saw a very warm and dry month, with some areas of the UK seeing less than 20% of the average rainfall for the time of year. Whilst temperatures were around the average across March, there was a colder spell as hinted at by the seasonal outlook, partly due to a breakdown of the polar vortex. It was an incredibly wet month as well, with some areas seeing more than double the usual March rainfall. As we ended the winter transport season for 22-23, April saw conditions around the average for the time of year. Let's take a look at 2 impactful weather events from this last winter season. Firstly, we'll have a look at the cold spell which occurred across the UK from the 5th to the 18th of December 2022. A strong upper level ridge developed over Greenland, which pushed a deep upper level trough from the Arctic towards the UK and northwest mainland Europe, allowing very cold air from the UK to rush in. As a result of this spell, the UK experienced its coldest December since 2010, with the temperature averaging 1.3 Celsius below the December climatological average, as you can see from this map by the UK Met Office. Frost and ice was a regular hazard for all areas, with RSTs falling below 0 Celsius every night over the period. For coastal areas, the northerly flow brought snow showers in off the sea, bringing some accumulations at times. Parts of central, southern and southeastern England also experienced a spell of snow on the 11th of December, as a weak area of low pressure developed from the northwest, combining with moisture moving up from the English Channel, bringing unofficial accumulations of over 10 centimetres in the home counties. Here is an image on the 16th of December from the NASA WorldView satellite 5 days after the snow event, showing the snow cover still over much of the southeast quarter. This shows how little snow had melted over this time, indicating how cold it was. Another impactful event over this last season was the snowfall between the 7th to 10th of March. One of the ingredients for the origins of the colder weather came from a sudden stratospheric warming event towards the end of February. The trickle-down effects of the polar vortex weakening helped to push a trough from the Arctic over northwest Europe to bring the cold and icy conditions. On the 7th to 8th, an area of low pressure brought a spell of snow to southern areas of England and Wales, resulting in some disruption to Bristol Airport and in Surrey. Meanwhile, snow showers continued to move in from the north into the Northern and Western Isles and northern parts of mainland Scotland. The main event then occurred on the 9th and into the 10th. A larger, more complex area of low pressure moved in from the south, resulting in spells of snow from the Midlands up to the Central Highlands. The Pennines, North Wales and southeastern Northern Ireland in particular saw heavy and persistent spells of snow on the 9th and overnight into the 10th. Buxton in Derbyshire recorded an official snow depth of 32 centimetres on the 10th, but there were unofficial reports of around 40 centimetres in the Sheffield area. As a result, there was significant transport disruption along with some power outages as well. That's just about it for this presentation, during which we looked at DTN's seasonal outlook, how the winter compared to the average, and some interesting weather events which had impacts on the transportation sector. Many thanks for your attention.